Hi everyone. We at MNN Business Intelligence Solutions are providing you a product for Tally integration wherein we'll be capturing the inserts, updates and deletes. We think uh, this would be helpful for those clients wherein they want to keep their records, historical records uh, for more than a year or so, and wherein we'll be providing them with all historical analysis in terms of with full business intelligence solutions in form of dashboards, reportings, pie charts and graphs. So herein we would be looking at three aspects. First is the insert logic, wherein we would be entering a record in the Tally database, saving the XML format of all the masters, vouchers and the stock summary as in the XML format and transferring into the data warehouse. Between this we would be taking a help of a connector that wherein we would be reading all the XML data of Tally into that connector, and then from a connector we would be placing all the data into our data warehouse. The third one is the insert logic which we are capturing it through ETL process that is based on SSIS, Microsoft Integration Services. And finally the fourth is the reviewing the dashboards of the changes that have been captured. So let's start with the insertion logic. So here I would take you to my desktop. I would open the Tally. So now I would select a company. Let's say I select Riva Computers. So now I would start entering the data first at the ledger level, then at voucher entries, and then at the stock item level. So now I would go to a ledger account wherein I'll press Alt C to create a ledger account. I would give a name as Harsh Company, and I would keep it under sundry creditors. Suppliers pricing level is not applicable. All the things I keep as it is. Address I keep as Gurgaon. State would be Haryana. Pin code is 001. So here's my ledger which has been created. Now I would go to the voucher level entry wherein I will register the vouchers. So first of all I'll insert the purchase voucher. For that I'll press F9. I'll provide a number as 290689. Date I would take as a 26th March. So that date would depends on the financial year. So whatever date we want to give, we can provide the date between that financial year. Cost center is not applicable. Party's ledger name I would take as Harsh Company. Receipt number I don't require. Its order number is also not required. And so once this after entering all this, I'll save this entry. Now purchase ledger I'll provide the purchase ledger under purchase. Now I need to type an item. I would write Sony monitor. I'll select, or we can even select a new item. Let's say I write Sony, and tracking number I need not to apply, it's not applicable. Quantity is not applicable. Go down, I would select as main location. Quantity I order 10. Rate I provide as 200. units, or I'll take in pieces, numbers itself, then it's end of list. So I need to apply any second item, so I just take an item and then I provide a VAT that on basis of 4%. So I'll calculate the value of the VAT and then I enter it to register this purchase order. Accept it, yes. बस परचेज का ही दिखाऊँ ना, सेल्स का भी दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं. So now then from here on I just move on to the stock summary. So if we want to see under stock summary what all items have been there, so it would lie under monitors. So here it is, monitor Sony, 20 numbers which we are able to capture it. So then on we'll move on to extract all the XML files of every ledger, voucher and stock level entry. So again I would go on the ledger, I'll select the Hirsch company, or for that matter even if you want to just handle this particular entry or you need to take a whole of a ledger, we can even take the whole ledger. So now I would start capturing the XML file. So the XML file would be of list of accounts. So this whole of my list, I press Alt E, I select default, yes, XML data format which we need, export location, the location wherein our XML file would get recorded and get saved. Then output file name would be master itself, so that I take as it is. Now the type of masters would be all masters, not the ledgers. Export closing, that we don't require. Provide overwrite, yes. So with the help of this, all the masters would get extracted from the tally database and get stored into an XML file to that particular location which we have provided, which is this. Now we can see this particular XML file that has been exported. Similarly, we can go on to the tally and again extract the stock summary and the voucher details as well. So now from the transaction level, I'll go to the vouchers. I'll press Alt E and I'll extract all the vouchers. Yes. So as you can see, my accounting voucher has also been extracted. In the same fashion, what we can do, we can go to the trial daybook from wherein all the transaction level entries can be recorded. Alt E. We can, if we require any of the changes as per the customized format, we can do it. Else we can just extract all the vouchers. So select the all vouchers. Forex transactions we don't require as of now, can be replaced, yes. So from here on I move on to stock summary. So basically stock summary means wherein all stock items and stock details are get registered. So we'll just select the stock summary, press Alt E again, and the same format that we have followed for all the above two steps. Everything that would be customized can taken care of. Else that can be left with the default functionality. Now we are here with all the master, the daybook, the stock summary levels of XML file. Now what we need to do is, since now we have captured this XML file of containing all the tally data, we would move on into the staging area. So for us, the staging area is an Occubit database. So that Occubit database can directly import all the tally records from XML file into its own table structure. So now from here on, I would take my all this particular entries to my server where my staging table lies. So I'll copy all these three particular XML files. I'll go to my server. I paste on the desktop. So till the time this particular thing happens, this Occubit, this particular connector that we have provided is basically to ease out with all the redundancy functionality that has been there in the tally database, which can also be handled manually, but we have taken care that it should be done automatically with the help of this particular connector. So now I would just go on this Occubit license server. I'll just press file import, provide the necessary credentials. Now at a time we'll be selecting all this particular XML file and import all the data into our staging table. So I'll start with the master. I'll open it. I'll just click on this load master. So it will automatically load all the masters into that connectors table. So masters have been imported 417. Now I would try to pass on daybook. So this contains all the transaction level entries. So I would just click on this load transactions. So vouchers enter 6, and this particular stock summary I would again open and I'll load all the stocks of this Reva computers. So now if we go and check this particular entry into our SQL Server Management Studio wherein our staging table lies, so now we'll check into this Occubit database table structure wherein we have captured all the tally based entries. Selecting this connection name as Occubit, then select star from td mst ledger. Now if I see there are all the entries of this that were done, and now if we want to verify that particular entry, we can check where the ledger name like Harsh exist, so we can check in this way. So here is our particular entry which we have captured into our the staging table. As you can see, Harsh CMP has been captured. So now, since in Tally there is lots of redundancy and data is in not in third normal form, so what we have done basically is that we have tried to normalize all the data, and for that we have run this particular ETL process. So now I would run this ETL process that would automatically insert the data from Orcubit to our own data warehouse table with all the proper normalization concepts that have been taken care of. So I press this particular button and the whole process would run. So as you can see, the whole process has run, so we can go to a particular table wherein we can view this particular entity. If you see in this particular logic, so now the insert has happened for the 2 rows. So this is our entry that we have captured. Now if we go on to this particular table of our data warehouse, I would take inventory analysis where we are capturing our data warehouse, and if I do select star from supplier level entry, if we check, then we can easily able to view that if you can see this particular entry Harsh CMP has occurred. So this is what basically this has been the insertion, and we have been successful in inserting this particular logic. Now again, if we want to check at item level entity into our data warehouse, so if we go and check out our ETL logic, now here itself the item has been inserted. So we'll go back to the item level, select star from item dollar. So if you want to view that particular an item, so we can provide a filter where item like monitor so now if we check it, so yes, so as you can see, this particular entry has been made for today. Monitor Sony 19. So now again So this is what the insertion has happened, and I'll go back to the report level now, wherein we would view the dashboards that could be easily reflect the changes that have been captured. So again, go to the server. I take now I use that server. Now I'll just go into the server, and so now I would open my report. Reporting data. So I would open my inventory particular thing. Now I would run this particular ETL code, and even this particular item supplier entity. So after this, I'll open up my page report.
You can pause, right?
Pause follow. F7. F7 press.
So now here I'll open my report data, and I run this particular ETL command. So that gets finished, and similarly now I would run this particular ETL code. Now I would open this report page where my dashboards and reports are being published. So now I would select this, so it would be a web-based interface wherein we would be able to view our particular reports and dashboards. So I would take inventory module, press enter. So now I would pick up this tally trial and run it. Now I would see my particular entry, that was monitor Samsung 19-inch. So here is it. So this entry has been captured and the entry has been made. So this is particular entry that has been made. So this is the whole insertion logic that we have applied, and and this has been smoothly processed from the tally database, and now we would be following the update as well. So now again I would go back to my original server, since the tally data has already been extracted into our staging area. So if the changes are being made on the tally side or on the staging table, so it's basically the one and the same thing. So I would go on to this Orcubit. I would select a particular item. So I'll take the table stock item, TDMST stock item. So now I would take TDMST stock item table. As you can see, so I would provide a condition where stock item name like monitor. So there are so many of entries, so further I would do Sony. And so now here are the two particular entries of monitor Sony. So now I would make an updation into this particular table. So I would choose as update stock item set item description equal to would provide an item description as Xperia C model fair stock item name equal to monitor Sony 90. So I just copy it and paste this particular location. So now I would run this particular query. So this gets row affected, and then I select star from stock item name, same condition. So now as you can see, this updation has occurred at the staging table end, or you can say at the tally or Orcubit, and it's one on the same thing. So now again we'll be capturing this particular updation through our ETL process. So what I would do, I would again run this particular whole ETL code again to capture that particular update. So as you can see, this update has been occurring. Yes, it has occurred. So now if we go and check this particular entry into the item load, where we can observe that an entry should have been updated. So yes, as you can see, the updation has occurred with one extra row. Now we would go and see into our data warehouse table where the actual updation has occurred. So I would select that particular table, select star from item dollar, fair item like monitor Sony. So now I will execute this particular query.
उसका नाम मैंने दिया HB.
अच्छा सर एक सेकंड. So now here is this model that, so we have this detail that has been updated. So now this was whole insertion updation logic. Similarly, the delete logic can also be applied, taking all the changes so far that has been taken care of in the same fashion, and performing this particular detail integration. We have successfully handled and derived a method of capturing the history of the tally records that might be useful to the several organizations using the tally database. Hopefully this video would have been helpful to everyone who are or who would be viewing this particular video. Thanks for watching this video, and do let us know, get back to us with your feedbacks and suggestions to us. Thank you so much.